Good morning. Just the tennis dominating yesterday. Any real angles? De Minaur losing the first set, winning the next three. How do you exploit that? Not going to be very good odds. It's up to you. Straight in. Lay Casal 3-0. Set betting if it's liquid enough. That gives you a lot of scope. Because De Minaur only needs to win a set then, doesn't he? Makes your life a lot easier. Algo Elysium against Struff. I did give that a good old mention, didn't I? He is in good form. He is good on grass. This is his part of the year, Struff. Algo Elysium on the first set. That's the key set, the second set. Won by Struff in a tiebreaker. No such luck for Danny Evans yesterday. Novak just too solid, as you'd expect, 1.04. Nakashima and Opelka expecting at least a set to be won by both players, both Americans playing each other. Marin Cilic and Jack Draper. I did come out with a profit. And did you notice the profitable angle? Marin Cilic's 2-0 up, Jack Draper 6-1. As you can see the mental switch on. Now, why can't he keep that level for that set? Jack Draper out. The big British hope out to a big Croatian. Unbelievable, Jeff. Yannick Sinner, again, 1.01. Got to be laid, really. Particularly as he's playing an Australian who could be the old mozzie hanging around, buzzing around the ear. But no such luck there. Looking at the ladies' game, Andreeva and Bronzetti. No problems for the 1.07 there. So we didn't really get any of these shorties wobbling as we've had in the previous few days. Rybakina, easy as you like against Maria Sakkari. Those were the only two females that stood out yesterday. Iga Swiatek did lose the first set. So that was a good angle. And I'm really kicking myself not getting on. 1.8. Swiatek, 1.8. Losing that first set. Can you imagine that for a 1.05 shot? The reason she's 1.08 is because in the women's game, or 1.8, the women's game, it's a lot more immediate. If you've lost the first set, you must win the next set. So profits yesterday, I was working to very small stakes because I'm just getting used to tennis. And you can see with the Jack Draper, I backed at 3.5, got out at 2.1. So that's the 2-0 to 2-1 set betting. So you can see I'm a lot more tighter in my exits. This may not look much, but it's all relative to the amount risked, which was only a tenner. So you're nearly getting a one-to-one return, which I do like. I didn't take any red screens yesterday, and that's a habit I have to take, I think. Just psychologically take some of these red screens. Andreeva and Sheriff, arguably, I got out. Just wasn't liking what I was seeing. Let's have a look at iShot. Was she playing yesterday? No, this was the day before. Okay. And this was another one yesterday. So let's have a look at how this is 1.44. So backing her for quite a hefty stake because of the short odds and laying off as soon as we get a profit from Zakharova. So that's the match there. The Zakharova, Jens Yastremska. Can you see the angle? Should be as clear as day. Zakharova losing the first set. Yastremska winning the second set. Easy as you like. You could see if you cash out at the first available opportunity, you avoid the heartache of whether Yastremska or Zakharova will win the tiebreak. And it could have been either of these two, couldn't it? 10-8. Yastremska just winning the right point at the right time. Iga Swiatek dropping the first set to give you a nice trading in and out. Winning the second, winning the third. Perfect. So let's have a look at the football today. So some key distinctions from the tennis, at least yesterday, is I think you have to have tighter exits. Get out at the first opportunity. In football, we don't necessarily need to do that because we can set ourselves up to aim for the winner while still not committing a large liability. Oulu against KuPS. Well, we've had our question answered in the last match with KuPS. And that question was, can they bounce back? Or are they going to continue to bounce back? Indeed, well, a sound beating of HJK Helsinki and then an absolute arse whooping of Guiniston. 9 goals in 2 matches for KuPS. They look to be bouncing back, don't they? So a clear indicator towards the away side today. Do not be surprised with a 0-0 at half-time for Oulu. There's a surprising cluster of them. But we do tend to see second half goals. On some occasions we've seen 2 or 3. So a 0-0 at half-time would be an opening gambit for you today as a trading outcome. And I think Oulu could be on the end of another KuPS bounce back. Irish Premier Division. We've got 2 odds on favourites at home in the Premier Division, Shelburne and Derry City. Let's take a look. Well, Waterford have won 2-1 in both of their head-to-heads this season, but the market's not taken by that. Derry do tend to score. They've scored in the last 11 at home. They've got a record of 0-0s at half-time, seeing second half goals. So watch out for that, Derry and Waterford. I think the market looks about right here. Keeping clean sheets as well recently, Derry, so set up to be hard to score against. Drogheda and Galway, 2.63 the favourite, should have you on the back seat already. Galway are unbeaten away, be the top 5. They tend to do their losing, be 6th and lower, which makes this very difficult, and that's why it's 2.63. You don't have to be a hero. If you can't read a match, don't play the match. Simple as that. Shelburne, 1.53 against newly promoted Cork City, who have struggled like a newly promoted side. Only 3 wins in 15, plays only 2 wins. Not the greatest profile for Shelburne at all at these kind of odds. Cork City's away malaise is the reason why they're not fancied today. St. Pat's and Bohemians, oh lordy. 2.63 the favourite again. We've got 2 of those 2.63 the favourites, which are nearly the highest odds that you'll get pre-match in the match odds market. And it is indicative that the market makers cannot split these 2 teams. And for good reason. We know that St. Pat's are struggling to score all of a sudden. Even with home advantage, have failed to score in the last 2. That is an air of unreliability. Bohemians getting a recent win against Shamrock Rovers is the highlight to their recent career. It's not a match we can interpret pre-match, is it? We have those trust issues with St. Pat's. Which St. Pat's turns up today? The one that actually scores goals or the one that's failing to score in the last 2? So we need a KuPS type redemption from St. Pat's before we get involved. 2.63 for 2 matches tells you they're best avoided or at least traded using in-play stats. Irish First Division, we've got 5 matches today. Bray against Wexford kicks it off. We've got 3 odds on favourites today and another tricky match, 2.43 the favourite, UCD and Treaty. Let's have a look at Bray and Wexford. 10 consecutive over 2.5 goals for Bray. Both teams to score very, very strong angles. Wexford can't be immediately dismissed with their 3 draws in 4 away. Again, in-play stats, we'll look out for that one. Co-Bramblers have been in excellent form this season. 1.39 home favourites. Look deservedly so. They've only conceded 1 goal in 6 matches at home. Be 6th and lower, Co-Bramblers. Defensively stout. Athlone, if they score first, are very unlikely to be following up with a second, given Cope's consistent performances defensively. Finn Harps and Longford is threatening to be an unreadable match. 2.15 the favourite. 2 consecutive wins, plays 2 wins in 3. So Finn Harps and Longford are coming into this in ultra recent solid form. It's not a match I want to focus on too much. I think Finn Harps, very poor profile. A massive 11 matches for Finn Harps without scoring that second goal. Now you know why they need those clean sheets and those 1-0 wins. It's a messy match pre-match, research-wise. It might come alive with in-play stats. Kerry against Dundalk. A surprise to see Dundalk not shorter odds. And it's in due deference to Kerry putting on a pretty un-Kerry-like solid recent performance. Let's have a look. 3 wins in 4 at home. Have Kerry had a bang on the head? Or do they think they're playing Gaelic football with the Gooch? Because this ain't like Kerry. 3 wins in 4 at home. That's why Dundalk struggling to stay above 1.5 there. Should be far, far shorter. 22% over 2.5 goals for Kerry. Just gives you a notification that 0-0 might be in play here initially. If you can get to 0-0, having backed it pre-match at its highest point, if you can get to half-time at 0-0, that's a good trading angle, a trading profit. Dundalk's recent single goal habit has cost them 7 of the last 12 points. So they're going to have to come alive, get that second goal. UCD against Treaty United. Again, look at the market. 2.43 the favourite. Got quite a few of those matches today. Ordinarily, if you were to retain your discipline, just scrub a line through these matches, or at the very, very least, you play the in-play stats. We have goal troubles for these two. UCD failing to score against the top 5 at home, and Treaty United are on a run of 2 consecutive matches without a goal. And the last match, they were short price, 1.55, failing to score. So Treaty are doing a bit of a St. Pat's, suddenly, inexplicably, what was quite a decent, hot team early season, are suddenly struggling to score those goals. That's why we're getting these niggly 2.43 the favourite matches, 2.63 and 2.63. An interesting coupon, but a lot of matches which the in-play stats will have to be looked at or consulted. Hope to be up for these today because there wasn't any football yesterday. Tennis-wise, not Dennis-wise. I'm thinking about the ex-Wimbledon captain. So let's have a look at today's tennis. I learnt a lot yesterday. I'm sorry I didn't pass it on. It's because I was looking at the best exit points, and my conclusions were it's best to get out at the odds movement, i.e. if you're going for that 2-1 to 2-2, you get out at the 2-2 and don't wait any longer. Or even the hint of a 2-2, because these go to tiebreakers that could go either way. Rublev and Mannarino, well, the wheels will fall off Rublev at some point, so he's always entertaining as far as waiting for him to implode mentally. I don't know if Mannarino has the ammunition to do it. I thought Rublev would be troubled by Harris, and indeed Harris took a 7-6 set off him. A couple of those sets were tiebreakers. So Rublev could be frustrated if he meets a big server. So watch out, Marin Cilic later on. That would be a fascinating match. Taylor Fritz is looking all out, the pedigree that we expect him to be. Fantastic player. David Fokina might take a set. He has been in okay form on grass. But over the course of 5 sets, you would be hoping Taylor Fritz would go through. He had a real battler. He's had 2 battlers. This first match, he came from 2 sets down. Yesterday, 5-setter. Delayed 5-setter. So he's going to be feeling it in the old legs, Taylor. Might need a Thai massage. I know a lady here in Hua Hin who could help him for only a couple of baht. So get in touch, Taylor. Elsewhere, Cameron Norrie, a Brit at Wimbledon. He's our last hope now that Jack Draper is out. Karen Khachanov was made to struggle. Can he continue to perform under duress when odds on? Because that's a good trading angle if he can deliver like he did in his last match. Thompson, not favoured, but coming through. The ATP Tour's greatest mullet and moustache combination is back. It is a fantastic mullet. Derry has never seen a mullet like this. It's superb stuff from Thompson. 1.67 favourite. I would be looking at him to not capitulate 2-0 to 3-0. An easy enough encounter, I would suspect, for Derry against Ferry, who being pumped up, of course, because he's a Brit. But looking at the patterns, and you can have a look. The beating of Marin Cilic is interesting because that form has been franked, hasn't it, for Derry? Jack Thompson being made to work. He's had 2 3-2 sets at Wimbledon. Now, can you rely upon that today? He's going to be feeling it in his legs. A simple 3-0 for Derry will see him a little bit fresher. The rankings are very, very tight indeed. This has got 5-setter written all over it. I will be looking with interest to see whether the ATP Tour's greatest mullet, Mr. Thompson, can continue to deliver his 3-2 sets. That in itself is a possible trading angle as well, isn't it? Any player 2-0 up or 2-1 likely to be pressured on their service game. Struff playing Alcaraz. I'm laying Alcaraz 1.04. You saw Struff yesterday take Alcaraz at home. He could trouble Alcaraz. Grass is Struff's surface. And if he can click, he's going to take Alcaraz potentially to a 3 or 4 setter. Or 4 or 5 setter, sorry. So look on that. 1.04 got to be laid. Loves his grass. Alcaraz, fantastic stuff. Looking at the ladies, Emma Raducanu is not favoured today against Sabalenka, but she might just give a push. Don't forget, she's carrying a niggle as well. Emma Raducanu. Cartel and Parry is 1.8 the favourite. Cartel a Brit. 1.8 suggests a 3-setter. Naomi Osaka has lurched to very short priced favourite when she has been about 1.8 or thereabouts in her previous encounters. Is that a positive sign in itself that Naomi Osaka against Pavlyuchenkova is favoured today? Madison Keys stands out as well against Laura Siegemund, 1.13 favourite. So our only shorties to lay today would be Alcaraz at 1.04, and that would be it. Alcaraz 1.04. Your short price lay, your Yaz trade of the day. And I think we might get something out of this from Struff. He is in rock solid form. So it's a fairly manageable coupon today, isn't it, in the Wimbledon. I'll be following it with interest again. And I hope to be able to record some of the plays today. I'm only working with small stakes, but I think the key to success is to have a target linked in with your liability. So if your liability is a tenner, look for a profit maybe of a fiver, a 1 to 2 return. From a loss perspective, I still have to work on that mentally, taking losses in tennis. It's difficult because do you have a predetermined exit point? For me, with the football, for example, it could be a third of liability as loss. Say if we've laid that draw second half and the teams haven't turned up. If you've got a £40 liability, your exit can be when you hit 13, a third of liability. Psychologically, you get 2/3 of your bank back, which is psychologically comforting. So still got to suss out the staking element of tennis trading, but I do think, unlike the football, once you've got that trading move, you cash out. That's the lesson for me, because things can fluctuate so quickly unless the trade is at an end of a match where they have a break. Things can fluctuate so quickly. It is amazing to see the markets. And don't forget, the price volume over time graphs can be an excellent entry and exit point. I don't think let's see, we've got any up on Betfair. Price volume over time, tennis, Betfair graph. Now, if you can find these price volume over time graphs, you can see support and resistance. It's exactly what I was going to mention to you. Support and resistance. It's a great sport to do support and resistance trading. This is very well illustrated with this screenshot here. So let's have a look if we can get this graph up bigger. No. So you'll see the price volume over time graphs. If you've got Fairbot, for example, they'll be appearing next to the player. And you can click on and get the graph details. It's the only sport really where you can consistently play support and resistance trading. But do look out, make sure you have prior support lines. So we've got 2 there. So in the third one, you'll have a bounce back. That's how I would play. So don't forget that. price volume over time graph. So I hope to be able to record some of these today. It is my day off, so I will be heading off to a coffee by the beach in Chatham. Very quiet off season at the moment, so I'm a rare sight of Farang in Chatham. Beautiful area. Go there with my computer. I've already done Saturday and Sunday's research, so I've got plenty to work on there. So have a great day today. I'm not sure I will pass on the tennis because it's if I pass on the entries, I have to pass on the exits, and that's difficult. I think a video, if I can show you a video of me trading, it's determining your exit point is the key to success with tennis trading, and it's to nip any losses in the bud because it can run away with you. Have a great day. It is my day off, but if I am up and about at 7:45 this evening, I will be trading. I've been ticking along nicely on Betfair this week, just adding, for example, yesterday, just with £10 stakes, I think I added £25–30 to the pot with £10 stakes, just with very, very ultra simple, ultra safe tennis trading. So I hope to get a few examples of those today. Have a great day today. I'll see you again tomorrow. I'll do an e-letter today, maybe just an e-letter video with a predominant focus on the tennis. Have a great day. I might see members later on, but it is my day off because I do work Saturdays and Sundays for you. See you again later.